So it's not a surprise that as an actor you push yourself emotionally, but I was wondering if you were actively looking for a role that physically pushed you as much as you were going to push yourself emotionally. Is that something, or that's something that just happened with this story?
Well, I think for all of us, we knew that this was going to be a unique undertaking and logistically incredibly difficult to take on. When I spoke to Alejandro in the initial meetings, he had a hard time articulating why exactly he wanted to do this. But I felt from him that there was a sense of wanting to submerge himself in the elements, relive this man's harrowing story, and from our experience, see where that pushed the narrative poetically. And that involved us really going to these far off places, pushing ourselves every single day to try to relive this man's life. And as a result, all that stuff that we experienced on set infused its way into the entire movie. The whole ending changed. I think all the conversations that we had about what this movie was about, we had to be there to experience it, and we had to push ourselves to the limit every single day to try to make this as authentic as possible. So we all knew what we were signing up for. I mean, we all knew what we were trying to take on, and it would be an endurance test for not only me as an actor, but the entire crew and the rest of the cast as well.
But did it change the way you sort of prepare for a role? Because it is sort of like a marathon of acting.
I mean, every day was a new challenge. Challenges that we never would have expected due to the fact that the weather was constantly changing. Logistically, trying to do things in the elements like that always presents things that you never would have foreseen, but it also creates incredibly beautiful circumstances that are unpredictable. Now, I mean, I just have extreme respect for the men that actually were able to survive in these elements, and people that are able to survive under harsh conditions like this, because it was a constant struggle for all of us.
The other thing I wanted to ask you, obviously, the physicality of it is extremely impressive in the sense of it reminded me, obviously it's a different concept, like the mastery of what you do physically is sort of almost to the Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, it's just that what you do physically is impressive. Was that something, talk about dealing with that aspect?
Well, more so than anything, I wanted to take on the challenge of actually pushing an emotional narrative without words. And anytime my character did have something to say, I tried to whittle it down to its absolute basics, because I think Hugh Glass, having a Native American son, is already an outsider for the rest of this white fur trapping unit that is infiltrating this indigenous landscape. So he had to be silent by his very nature. When he speaks, it has to have meaning. It's almost like haiku or something like that. But the challenge for me was I really wanted to try to create a character and see if a whole the journey can be sustained with almost no words. And that relied heavily on a lot of research, obviously, but just trying to be in the moment. But it really helps you as an actor when you're working with somebody like Alejandro, who is so incredibly fierce about authenticity. And so, it makes your job so much easier as an actor to just react to your surroundings, because everything, you don't need to think about anything. There's nothing that you're pointing, that your eyes catching that seems unrealistic. You're literally reacting to things around you that seem, like real life.
So like I said, hats off, sort of spectacular.
Thank you, bro.
Talk to you.
Thank you.